Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about land rollers.
It's interesting as we go across the country, there are certain equipment trends that have taken off in one area that in another area of the country, it's something brand new. And so wherever we travel, it's, hey, what do you think about this piece of equipment or that piece of equipment? One of them is land rollers, and their use has been pretty popular in many areas of the country.
With these land rollers, what the whole purpose is to basically level the soil out, and where we see the biggest gain is pushing rocks down into the ground. So if you're a non-farmer, you might say, oh yeah, why is that such a big deal? Well, if you have crops like soybeans, for example, where you want to run the combine head right on the ground, it's very easy to pull a rock in, and if that rock gets in the wrong spot in your combine, you may have thousands of dollars worth of damage. That's a big issue. So what the farmer will do with the land roller is go out there in the spring and push all those rocks down into the soil. Then when he comes along with the combine, he can go right down to that soil surface without a lot of worry about those rocks.
Well, rocks are certainly a concern and a big benefit of running a land roller. The other thing that I see a lot of guys talking about and having results with across the country is getting good seed to soil contact. For example, let's say you're putting a cover crop out this fall, or let's say maybe you're seeding a winter cereal. By doing some land rolling after you've seeded, you can pack that ground a little bit if it's really fluffy, and now all of a sudden you've got good seed to soil contact. That can certainly be a benefit.
A lot of people talk about yield gains by using land rollers, and that all depends on your situation. So for us on our farm, we haven't gained yield, but it all depends on how you set the planter. Like for us, we've invested a lot of money in our planter. We're trying to do the right things there. And for someone else, maybe this land roller helps with your planter to get that good seed to soil contact.
Drill,
like
Brent,
or
drill.
Yes.
You know, that's
Excellent.
one thing where we see a lot of guys talking about, oh, with my drill, I just don't have great seed to soil contact. The placement is not as precise as using my planter. So that's a spot where a lot of guys are seeing some benefit using a land roller.
So what a lot of people will do is they'll typically roll the ground before they plant the corn, or with soybeans, they'll roll the ground after they've planted the soybeans. And the whole reason why is because corn is very sensitive about planting depth. We want it at exactly 2 inches deep. I don't want it at 1 inch deep. I don't want it at 3 inch deep. I have yield loss either way. I want it at exactly 2 inches deep. So if you plant your soybeans and you roll then, soybeans, it doesn't matter. I can plant them at a ½ inch, an inch deep. It's no real big deal. There's no exact number for soybeans, but you'll see variance across the field because sometimes that soil is a little bit fluffy. So when you go over it with the roller, well, if you've already planted the seed, you might find that some seeds are pretty shallow, some seeds are deeper. We can't do that with corn. So you have to roll before you plant the corn, and then most people do it after they plant the soybeans to improve seed to soil contact with the soybeans.
That's just a number of reasons why you may consider using a land roller. But Brian, probably the biggest topic of debate that we hear is, should I roll it after my crop is up or before my crop emerges?
Yeah, so again, with corn, we absolutely want to do it way in advance. With soybeans, there are some people who wait until those beans come up. We worry too much about that we're going to hit it at the wrong stage. If you have some plants that are brittle out there, you could snap them off and then those plants are dead. So personally, if it was me, I wouldn't roll after the beans are up. There are some people who do that with good success.
Well, one thing land rollers can't do for you is control our weed of the week. We'll show you what will coming up later in the show.